Hello students, in this video we will start the next article of unit number 1. So the first definition is measurable set. The set E is said to be Lebesgue measurable if for each set A, which is a subset of R, which is real number, we have outer measure of A equals to outer measure of A intersection E plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. If this condition is satisfied, then we say that the set E is a Lebesgue measurable. The second condition is outer measure of A greater than or equals to outer measure of A intersection E and plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. If any of these two conditions is satisfied, then we say that this set E is a Lebesgue measurable. Second definition is of algebra of sets. Then let X be a non-empty set. Then the algebra of set is denoted as A and dot over it. So this A dot is collection of subsets of X. Here X is any non-empty set. Then A dot is a collection of subsets of X. Then this A dot is called algebra or Boolean algebra. It can be called as algebra or Boolean algebra if two conditions are satisfied. That is, for any two sets in this collection of subsets, that is for any A B belongs to A dot, it implies that A union B also belongs to the same set. And second condition is for any A belongs to A dot implies the complement of it also belongs to A. And to find complement, the universal set is X. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then the collection of subsets of X is called algebra of sets. Here is note. First is finite union and finite intersection of the sets are in algebra of sets or are in algebra. The second is the whole set X and empty set phi also always belong to the algebra, that is A dot. Next definition is sigma algebra and also it is called as Borel field. Then what is sigma algebra? An algebra A dot of set is called an sigma algebra if every union of countable collection of sets in the algebra is in that algebra. That is, every union of countable collection of sets in A dot again belongs to A dot, that is algebra. That is, if AI is a sequence of sets in this algebra, then union of all that also belongs to this algebra. That is, union of n from 1 to infinity an belongs to the algebra for n belongs to the natural set. Now, with respect to this three definitions, we will discuss some theorems. So, first theorem is we have to prove that the family M of measurable set is an algebra of sets. So, let's start with the proof. Here M is the family of measurable set, that is M is collection of measurable sets. So, let M be a family of measurable sets. So, and we have to prove that M is an algebra of sets. That is, two conditions must be satisfied. First, that for E1, E2 belongs to M implies that E1 union E2 also belongs to M. And second condition, for E belongs to M implies that E complement also belongs to M. We have to prove this two condition. Now, let E belongs to M. So this implies that since E belongs to M, E is a measurable set. So now since E is measurable, this implies that E complement is also measurable. Therefore E complement belongs to M. Therefore for E belongs to M, we get E complement belongs to M. This second condition is proved. Now for the first one, let E1, E2 belongs to M. This implies that E1 and E2 are measurable. And also the union of two measurable set is measurable. Therefore E1 union E2 is measurable. Now since E1 union E2 is measurable, implies that E1 union E2 belongs to M. That is the family of measurable sets. So let this be A and this be B. So for E1 E2 belongs to M, we have proved that E1 union E2 also belongs to M. And from A and B, we can say that this family of measurable set is an algebra of sets. So thus from A and B implies that M is algebra of sets, and hence this theorem is proved. Second theorem is, we have to prove that let M be the collection of measurable set, that is M is the family of measurable sets, and we have to prove that M is a sigma algebra. In previous theorem we have proved that the family of measurable set M is a algebra of sets. Here we have to prove that the M is sigma algebra. Now let M be the collection of measurable sets. So by previous theorem, M is a algebra of sets. That is, for any set E belongs to M, implies that E complement also belongs to M, and for E1 E2 belongs to M, implies E1 union E2 belongs to M. These two conditions we have proved in previous theorem. Now here we have to prove that M is a sigma algebra, that is, by definition, countable union of measurable set is measurable. Now we can always choose the set in countable union to be mutually disjoint. So here let E1, E2 up to so on be the mutually disjoint sets. The mutually disjoint measurable sets. So we denote E is equals to union of I from 1 to infinity EI, and Fn is equals to union from I to 1 to n EI. Let this be number 1. Now we show that the set E, that is union of all this disjoint set, is measurable. We show that E is measurable. Now this Fn is a finite union of measurable sets. Therefore this Fn is measurable. Fn is finite union of measurable sets, and this implies that Fn is measurable. So therefore, by definition of measurable sets, for each, by definition, for each set A, we have outer measure of A equals to outer measure of A intersection Fn plus outer measure of A intersection Fn complement. Let this be number 2. Now since Fn is a finite union and E is the countable union, so here Fn is subset of E, but Fn is subset of E, and this implies that E complement would be subset of Fn complement. So therefore from this second we get outer measure of A to be greater than or equals to outer measure of A intersection. Instead of Fn we will put here E plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. Here will be Fn only. So outer measure of A intersection Fn is union of I from 1 to n EI plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. Therefore we get summation I from 1 to n outer measure of A intersection EI plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. Now taking n tends to infinity on RHS we get outer measure of A greater than I from 1 to here n will be infinity, outer measure of A intersection EI plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. Again this will be outer measure of A intersection union of I from 1 to infinity EI plus outer measure of A intersection E complement. Now this union I from 1 to infinity EI is equals to E. So therefore outer measure of A intersection E plus outer measure of A intersection E complement, and therefore by definition of measurable set implies that E is measurable. That is countable union of countable collection of measurable set in M is measurable. That is E is equals to union of I from 1 to infinity EI, which is union of countable collection of measurable sets so this implies that M is a sigma algebra, and hence the theorem is proved. Now the third theorem is we have to show that if F belongs to M, that is F is a measurable set and outer measure of F delta G is equals to 0, then G is measurable. So proof, we know that if outer measure of any set, suppose E is 0, then it implies that E is measurable. Here outer measure of F delta G is equals to 0. This implies that F delta G is measurable. Now F delta G is equals to F minus G union of G minus F. So hence these subsets F minus G and G minus F are measurable. The subsets F minus G and G minus F are measurable. Now, as F belongs to M, that is M is a collection of measurable sets, therefore F is measurable. So F minus G can be written as F intersection F minus G complement. It is from the result, that is if A minus B can be written as A intersection B complement. Again applying the same result for this F minus G, we get F intersection G complement whole complement. So F intersection F complement union of G complement over complement. So we get F intersection F complement, and the complement of G complement is G. Since so now by De Morgan's law, F intersection F complement union of F intersection G, then F intersection F complement is phi. After union of F intersection G, that is F intersection of G. So F minus G is equals to F intersection G. Now since F and F minus G are measurable, this F intersection G is also measurable. So as F and F minus G are measurable, this implies that F intersection G, which is equals to G intersection F, they are both same, are measurable. Now we have F intersection G, or we can say G intersection F is measurable. Let it be number 1. Now G can be written as G intersection F union of G intersection F complement. So G intersection F union of this G intersection F complement can be written as G minus F. Now this G intersection F is measurable, also G minus F is measurable, and the union of two measurable set is measurable. Therefore, since G intersection F is measurable from 1, and also G minus F is measurable, and we know that union of two measurable set is measurable. Union of two measurable sets is measurable, and this G is the union of two measurable sets, that is G intersection F and G minus F. So therefore G is measurable, and hence the theorem is proved. So the last theorem of this article is, we have to prove that the interval A infinity is measurable. Now let's start with the proof. We denote this interval by I, that is A infinity. Then the complement of this interval would be minus infinity A, that is semi-closed. Now let A be any set, and we have to prove that this interval I is measurable. As I is measurable, that is, by definition of a measurable set, we have to prove that outer measure of A is greater than or equals to outer measure of A intersection I plus outer measure of A intersection I complement. So that is outer measure of A to be greater than or equals to outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2. Let this be number 1, where A1 is equals to A intersection I and A2 is equals to A intersection I complement. Now if outer measure of A is equals to infinity, then this theorem is trivially proved. Then theorem is trivially proved. So we consider that this outer measure of A is finite, that is less than infinity. So suppose outer measure of A is less than infinity. So therefore for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a collection of intervals in of open intervals which covers A. So therefore by definition outer measure of A is greater than equals to length of summation length of in minus epsilon, or this can be written as outer measure of A, shift this epsilon, that is plus epsilon, is greater than equals to summation of in. Let this be number 2. Now denote in dash is equals to in intersection I and in double dash equals to in intersection I complement. This implies that in dash and in double dash are intervals and length of in is equals to length of in dash plus length of in double dash, that is equals to outer measure of in dash plus outer measure of in double dash, because we have seen that the outer measure of any interval is equal to its length. So let it be number 3. Now let in dash and in double dash form the covers for A1 and A2 respectively. So that is A1 is a subset of union of in dash and A2 is a subset of union in double dash. So therefore outer measure of A1 is less than equals to outer measure of union in dash, which is less than equals to summation outer measure of in dash, and similarly outer measure of A2 is less than equals to outer measure of union in double dash, which is less than equals to outer measure summation outer measure of in double dash. So now summation outer measure of in dash plus summation outer measure of in double dash is greater than equals to outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2. This implies that summation outer measure of in dash plus outer measure of in double dash is greater than equals to M star, that is outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2. Now this M star, that is outer measure of in dash plus outer measure of in double dash is equals to length of in from third. So summation length of in greater than equals to outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2 by third. Now this summation length of IN is equals to outer measure of A plus epsilon greater than equals to outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2 by second. We have taken this from second. So since epsilon is arbitrary, so let epsilon tends to 0. So this implies that outer measure of A is greater than or equals to outer measure of A1 plus outer measure of A2. So which is greater than equals to A1 is A intersection I plus outer measure of A2 is A intersection I complement. Therefore, the interval I, which is A infinity, is measurable. And hence the theorem is proved. In next article, in next video, we will start with third article of this unit, which is Borel sets. Thank you.